Is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to a Thursday edition of Coach and Company right here on the Stadium Network and everywhere that Stadium lives. Amazon Prime Video, Direct TV, YouTube TV, the biggest platform in the country, and also LG Vizio. The list goes on and on. We are available in over 100 million homes every single day. And today is a very special day here at BTT Studios because for the first time, and every Thursday moving forward, we have 2 full hours emanating out of our platform. Because coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, the Coach and Bro Show. And I saw the numbers yesterday. You guys are making it a gigantic success. They're giving us a much better start time. So we'll have 10 a.m. Coach and Company every Thursday, 11 a.m. Coach and Bro starting today with me and Vince Russo. Now, over the course of the next 60 minutes, we have a very special thumbs up, thumbs down in the MLS. Are they trying to be a player as we head into the Olympics coming up in a very short period of time in the United States? Also, we continue our countdown to the NFL season. And today is the AFC West and the defending AFC champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Are they good enough to win the division and get back to the Super Bowl? Me and the guys will discuss at the bottom of the hour. Also, the very latest on Micah Parsons and the drama going on in Dallas. But as always, before we look forward, we must look back. And yesterday, some of my guys had a good day, like my man Raphael, 2 check marks. However, Big Tommy C licking his wounds, and Big Chuck, a rare loss for him. But we never labor. We never belabor. Is that even a word? Sorry, Soupy. On what happens before, we're always worried about today. So all the housekeeping is done. Interesting here at the the company's ready to come in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to beat the books. For the FedEx St. Jude Championship live in Memphis, Tennessee, starting today. I'll be on the ESPN Bet feed on ESPN Plus. Let's start with the man in the middle who is sitting right now in Memphis, Tennessee. My man DG, the host of Weekday Wagers right here on our Coaching Company YouTube page. DG, are you feeling the PGA Tour vibe there locally today?
Yeah, good morning, Coach. Good morning, guys. The vibe is always hitting for me because I am about 1 mile from where they're going to tee off today. And so people are already filling in, and it's beautiful weather today. So it should be a good time on the course.
I can't wait for that. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll have 3 hours of live betting on PGA Tour Live. I cannot wait for it. It's some of my favorite times of the year. Now, this man, we're so excited to have him for more days now, heading in to our biggest fall at the brand yet. We just call him Zeno. Good morning, Zeno. How are you, sir?
Coach, gentlemen, great to be with you guys as always. Still, listen, I know I'm here more. I still got to work my way into being part of the Open. I need some sort of facial recognition in the Open here.
Wow. You know what? We have our little business meetings every week, me and producer man. I'm all over it, big dog. I'm all over it. You deserve it. Now, this man is always working for the brand. He never stops. He's our numbers guy for a reason. Say good morning to Raphael Smart. Good morning, Raphael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, family. It's a beautiful Thursday, and golf only has to go up against 3 baseball games today, so I am stoked for watching golf and live betting all day today.
Is there football tonight too? Preseason football?
3 preseason games.
Does anybody even care about preseason? Like, if you bet on preseason, are you a degenerate? Truly?
Yes.
No,
Zeno says, no, hell, I'm doing it.
there are edges in the preseason. You just got to know where to look.
Yep, I agree.
All right, so real quick, when you're looking at preseason games, Zeno, what are the type of things you're looking at that may differ from a regular season game?
Well, the coach is the biggest part of it, right? Like, I mean, if you go to the Hall of Fame game, you had 2 coaches who were consistently going to go for it on 4th down, didn't need to worry about field goal kicking and everything else. So that's going to change the dynamic of the game. And then you also look at kind of how much the guys who are playing are fighting for jobs or not, and how much the backup quarterback, if there's a competition there for number 2, how much they're going to play and how well they're going to play because they're fighting for a job on a roster.
Raphael, you worked in the sports books behind the desk or behind the counter for many, many years. How do they approach preseason?
They lower the limit, so they don't get crushed right away. That's probably number one that they do. But when you're betting NFL, X is what I call it. Value is value. If you see your number, you bet your number. It doesn't matter if it's NFL X preseason week 1, college football week 1. If you see your number, grab that number because it'll be gone in a couple minutes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Last week, the over came in the Hall of Fame game. They're always a lot lower, too, in the preseason. I think it was 33 and a half last week, and it went to 41. All right, gentlemen, kind of a ho-hum day as far as our picks are concerned on Wednesday. So let's have a solid bounce back. In fact, I'm even dipping my toe into the water today with 3 different FedEx St. Jude championship picks. But I'm not going to go first. I asked this simple question. Who wants the smoke? Oh, DG, right up. All right, DG, best bet. Start with you. Go.
All right, let's go down to A-Town. We're going to go Kyle Stowers of the Miami Marlins. We're going to go over the 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -125. This is a great matchup versus Carlos Carrasco. He's also hit this line in 6 of his last 10. And so because of that, with the great weather and the great matchup, I like Kyle Stowers to go for the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And then we're going to go to the hardwood. And this is a late night game. Kelce Plum over the 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's at -106. Listen to these numbers she's had just in the last 5 games. It's 23.8 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, and 8 assists. That comes out to averaging 35 points, rebounds, and assists. She's now matched up against the Connecticut Sun. So we're going to go with Kelce Plum over on her PRA.
I can't help but think about Soupy every time we bring up the Connecticut Sun. And the fact that his ticket hookup is going to be gone in a matter of months. By the way, how would we rate Kelce Plum's cameo in Happy Gilmore 2? Between 1 and 10. What did we think about Kelce Plum?
8.
6.
I'm with Zeno. I thought it was kind of a 6. She kind of came out of nowhere. I did not expect her to be working in the golf shack as he was getting ready to get absolutely hammered on the golf course. That was one of the better scenes of an absolutely horrible movie. All right. Good job, DG. All right. My man Zeno, coming over to you. Got that beautiful smile. Haircut's nice. Always adding what I normally have to add by myself. So I appreciate that part of what you bring to the table. But I also appreciate your knowledge and your best bets. Go.
It's late with the Marlins here on the money line tonight as they're in Atlanta facing the Braves. Couple of things here. Yuri Perez, who starts for the Marlins, has been outstanding. His last 3 road starts, 17 innings pitched, just 2 earned runs. Carlos Carrasco is not a major league pitcher, yet he's on a major league roster. He's starting for the Braves. Miami is 9th in Major League Baseball in runs scored on the road this year. They should do more than enough to get to Carrasco and a bad Braves bullpen to take this one. And then it's Paul Skeens Day, guys. You know what that means? We've got to bet on the Pirates in some size, way, shape, or form. We're going to lay a half run here in the first 5. Why? Because Brady Singer's splits at home versus on the road are pretty dynamic. A 3.36 ERA at home, a 5.76 ERA on the road. Opposing hitters are batting .289 against him. I know this is an awful Pirates lineup. I know they couldn't score in a whorehouse with a fistful of hundreds, but I have to trust the fact that they are going to put at least one across here. Skeens takes care of the rest.
I hear Skeen's name, I think back to the video when he got announced as an all-star, and he could not have been less excited to thank his team. Oh, thank you, guys. So, yeah, I'm like, the dude wants just to get the hell out of town with girlfriend in tow, I might add. Zeno, thank you very much, sir. Now, I believe that I'm going to go next. And I got 3 big plays from the St. Jude today. Now, he hasn't had a great year, but he just had a recent top 5 at the Scottish Open. And last year, he finished 2nd at this very event. And a few years ago, he came out of nowhere when the playoffs started to dominate and win $20 million plus some. I'm going to go Victor Hovland to win. Now, it's just a little bit of a sprinkle. Don't put a lot on it every time that you bet somebody to win. Never a full unit if you look at units. Plus 2,500. I call that the sweet spot. And I think Victor Hovland, remember, it's only a field of 70. It's not your normal 144, 156. Only 70 guys are playing today. I love Victor Hovland, a little bit of sprinkle. So how do I back that up? I go Victor Hovland with a top 10 at plus 275. You're going to find you're going to get a lot better numbers because the books have to spread the guys out. You can't just be super, super top heavy because right now Scotty Scheffler is plus 300. The next number is plus 1,600 for Xander. So there's a lot of value out there. You just got to do a little bit of digging in order to do that. Then my third play, I'm going to go with a tournament matchup. Sepp Straka. He has absolutely had a great year. He's turned into an elite player. Plus 113 over Colin Morikawa, who is desperate to try to still make the Ryder Cup team. He has not played good golf, and I love Straka over 4 days, not just to beat Colin Morikawa. I think he will beat him soundly this weekend. Those are my 3 big plays. All right, Raphael, let me come over to you. Go, sir.
The guy that swept the board yesterday going 2-0 goes last today, so that is pretty good. And we're going to pre-season.
Whoa.
What?
Shade?
That,
Did you feel like you should? It was shade. Wasn't that shade, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
I admit it. It was shade. Right?
Wow.
Act like
Normally,
been there before.
I haven't been there that much before, so I'm acting right now. I'm acting right now.
That's very true. That's very true. We did not mean to ruin your flow, the 3 of us, Raphael. Please, the floor is yours.
Now I got to talk really fast to catch up. No, I'm just joking. I'm going to take the Colts-Ravens first half over 19.5 at minus 105. Value is value, because don't forget, the Colts are still battling for quarterbacks. Who's QB1? Is it Richardson or is it Daniel Jones? So them two are going to play a lot. I think we see a lot of points scored in the first half. That's why I'm taking a 19.5 instead of the total at 36.5. And then we're going to go to baseball. I wish the Colorado Rockies weren't playing today. They're off, but the White Sox are playing. And you know what? Their team total's only 2.5 today against the Seattle Mariners. They lost yesterday 8-6, but they've hit this prep number 6 out of 7 games. I think they put 3 runs up. They'll probably lose, but I still think they'll score 3 runs. So give me the White Sox team total over at 2.5.
Absolutely love it, Raphael. Thank you very much. I think you're going to have another perfect day today. I think you're going to lead the charge. I think you're going to be a team leader, just like we're at summer camp. Now, we can't have a day with Zeno without bringing in his best friend, a budding friendship that is absolutely beautiful to watch. Marky Model, welcome to the show. Do you want to say good morning to your good friend Zeno?
Oh, good morning, Zinny.
We're Zinny now. We've got nicknames for each other. I like it. All right. JTS, play of the day. Mark, what do we got?
We're going to start with Phoenix Mercury, Alyssa Thomas to go over 20 points and assists. She's been dominant at home, clearing this number in 5 of her last 6 games, and she absolutely torches Indiana, averaging 25 combined in those contests. We're going to pair that with Chicago Sky's Camila Cardoso to go over 20 points and rebounds. Look, Angel Reese is out tonight, which means that Cardoso should feast. Why? Because when the me-bound queen has not been in the lineup, Cardoso's cleared this line in 5 straight. Put them both together for a plus 100. Just a Stat Sports play of the day.
You give me a plus sign, I'm all about it. Where's that QR code? There it is right there. Scan it. Be a part of what we're doing. BTT30, that is our code. We're going to give you 30 days for free. It's going to take you all the way past opening night in the NFL, all the way into the weekend, maybe, what is it, the 7th? What's on September 7th? It's the Bills and it's the Ravens, Sunday Night Football, and you can have every tool in your toolbox that you have. Real quick, where are we at? I only got about 20 seconds for you, Mark, on the model and being ready to go.
Fired up and ready, and all 3 models are firing up. We've got Canadian football, MLB went 2-0 on the run line last night. WNBA continues to be hot.
That's all you can ask, big boys. That's all you can freaking ask. Gentlemen, well done. Great start. I love the vibe on a Thursday. Now, we're just getting started here on Stadium. Still to come, we're playing a little thumbs up, thumbs down. Is the MLS trying to put their best foot forward and become a worldwide league? We'll discuss it. Also, a perfect inning in baseball, but not the kind that maybe you're thinking about. Also, we break down the AFC West. All 14, well, 3 of the 4 could be playoff teams this year. It's going to be a dynamic division. We'll break it all down with me and the guys at the bottom of the hour. And then the Cowboys, the gift that just keeps on giving. Drama, but what about the actual team? We'll discuss. We're just getting started on a Thursday in August. We're picking you up. You're starting our day. Where else would you want to be? It's Coaching Company. As always, right here on Stadium. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Coaching Company here on Stadium. Having a great day already. Do not forget, top of the hour, 11 a.m., Coach and Bro. Very first time, 11 a.m. start. Me and Vince Russo talking everything pro wrestling and including the landmark ESPN WWE deal, which will also be a part of Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down very, very shortly. But before we get to that, Raphael, you're my update numbers guy. Is there anything going on right now as we head into really kind of the first official week of preseason NFL football?
Yeah, we have 3 games tonight, and there's one that pretty much shocked me. The Baltimore Ravens are playing tonight. They're at home, and you're getting +6. I know the Colts are having a QB battle. That's why they're probably underdogs. But listen to these numbers. Jim Harbaugh for Baltimore is 44-17 straight up in the preseason and 40-21 against the spread. And you're telling me I'm getting +6 at home? Very interesting. So we're going to see. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see 6.5 because one offshore book had 6.5 early this morning.
Didn't the Ravens have like 20 in a row or 21 in a row, something crazy
yes,
for a while?
It was crazy, and the books were getting crushed. We had guys, I was working at MGM, we had guys to try to put down $50K on a preseason game. We're like, sorry, we're only taking X, Y, and Z. We're not taking your $50K.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. No. Just 200. That's your limit, son. All right, Raphael, we'll see you in about 15 minutes as we break down the AFC West. All right, I need to see my boys Zeno and DG for a very important rendition of a little something we like to call thumbs up and thumbs down. Zeno, topic number 1. Now, the Olympics are coming, just not this year. But the last few days, the MLS has been bringing in and signing some big-time players. They already have Lionel Messi. Now they're bringing in Thomas Mueller coming from Bayern. And now, make sure I get this name, Son Heung-min. He's leaving Tottenham, who I believe did really well in the Europa League. He's been there for 10 years. He's coming over to L.A., to LAFC. So, Zeno, first topic, thumbs up, thumbs down, that the MLS is wanting to be a player on the worldwide stage.
Thumbs down. Look, MLS in the United States, and that's where it has to start first. Until they want to make themselves a viable television product on regular TV, they're never going to get anywhere. That's just the reality of it. You actually have to blow a whistle. You have to stop the clock. You have to have commercial breaks so you can put it on regular TV. Until that happens, and you're still streaming on other than regular services, they're never going to get the audience that they need. Now, are they a great marketing tool? Sure. Can they continue to produce dollars and revenue for the league and for other, other ways to keep them afloat? Absolutely. But if you'd like them to be a player on the national stage where people are going to watch it, it has to start with eyeballs in America, and I don't think they'll get them.
See, I'm going to go thumbs up on this one just because this is the start of what it could actually be. Like, this could be a really good step in the right direction. When Lionel Messi came over, that was the first initial start of the MLS taking it serious and say, hey, we need to bring in talent. Well, this brought in the eyeballs. Well, now this move is bringing up the talent. And that's where you have to be, is you have to kind of raise your talent if you want to be taken, more serious than you already are. I know the MLS has been a joke, but you bring in real talent, real players, I think you can have a good stepping stone right here.
I'm going to go thumbs up because the wording was trying to be a player on the worldwide stage. I agree with everything that Zeno just said. They're on Apple TV Plus, and I love my boy Max Bretos, who is the voice of LAFC, and they do need to do all of those things. But I think they're trying, and certainly if you look at their the money and the salaries from 10 years ago to where it is today, you got guys making millions and millions and millions of dollars. Certainly Lionel Messi is an outlier at $60 million, but these names coming in, you're going to see some legit $6 million to $12 million salaries. So I think they're trying, but they do need to do all those things that Zeno already alluded to. All right, topic number 2. Andrew Kittledge. Who? Andrew Kittledge. On Tuesday night, Zeno, he was booed out of the ballpark. But less than 24 hours later, he's back on the diamond. He's back on the mound. And he threw all of 9 pitches, struck out all 3 batters, and he had a standing ovation. So, thumbs up, thumbs down on this being a perfect inning for Kittledge.
Thumbs up, and the correct term is an immaculate inning because 9 pitches and 3 strikeouts is the way it's done, right? Look, the rarity of this is kind of cool to see. It's not something you're ever going to get remembered for or anything like that, but it's just one of those things. If you did it and you lived it, it's a cool thing to say that you had. It's really hard to throw 9 consecutive pitches in the strike zone or 9 consecutive pitches that guys are going to swing at. And he got 3 strikeouts on 3 swinging strikeouts. So that means, the guy was really with really good stuff. And don't think the catcher didn't play a good part in that in the role in calling the pitches here. So pretty good, cool stuff.
I'm going to go thumbs up as well because you're talking about an immaculate inning from your guy who looks like he should be at the beer league softball game. This dude just doesn't have the body of a professional. But dude just threw the 120th immaculate inning of all time. That means all of baseball, the 120th time. Anytime I can be brought into that conversation, sign me up with my drunk uncle in the beer league.
I don't hate the drunk uncle reference. I'm going to go thumbs up, no, I can't go thumbs up and thumbs up for me. This is amazing. I mean, and we probably will not see it for a very, very long period of time. This is one of the hardest things to do. And now that I know exactly what it's called, the immaculate, the last time I heard the word immaculate in sports was 1970 whatever with Franco Harris. The immaculate, that's how unusual this is. So I didn't even know this cat's name until I was doing research for the show today. So if you can get your name in the national spotlight like this, I'll give you a thumbs up. No big deal. Now, let's stay on the baseball. Let's stay on the diamond. Because, Zeno, normally in baseball, the way it's been is you get signed as a high schooler and you come out, you got to play 5 or 6 years, you go through arbitration, and then by the time you're 27 or 28, you get that big deal. Baseball's different. But now the rookies are getting their money, getting their bag. The Red Sox, Roman Anthony, he's the #1 former prospect in baseball. They just signed him to an 8-year, $130 million extension that with escalators could go all the way up to $230 million. Thumbs up, thumbs down on baseball trying to get ahead of it and get somebody in at less than 20 instead of paying them $40 or $50 million a year in 5 years.
I am going to do thumbs up, thumb down here. Thumbs up for the teams saying yes to signing these guys early. Thumbs down for the players because in 3 or 4 years, if the trajectory continues, this deal is going to be a steal. Look, this is not new. The Braves have been doing this for a while. Look at Ronald Acuna's deal where he's getting about 10 or 12 million a year for a guy who should be making 35 or 40. Comparatively speaking to what his numbers are. So, yes, it's great for the organizations and the players that are willing to do it. Bad for the players who are sort of diminishing their value by not waiting this thing out. And it really is this quintessential question here of when do I want to get paid? Do I want to do it now and hope that I'm going to get ahead of the curve and that maybe, God forbid an injury happens or something, I never play again, I'm set up for life? Or do I try to wait it out, bet on myself that I stay healthy, still perform, and we get a bigger payday down the road?
Yeah, I'm going to go thumbs up on this one because just like Zeno talked about, Ronald Acuna signed that 8-year, $100 million deal. But what happened is there were injuries. If you look back on it now, you would say that Acuna is going to get a $30 to $40 million bag, whatever that number might be. But realistically, he's getting between 12 to 20 every single year as he's coming up within the majors. That's not a small number. Like 12 to 17 to $20 million is still a lot of money in this day and age, in this economy. I think that Roman Anthony can be a really good player. I don't know if he's going to be a 250 million, especially in a few years. And so him going ahead and getting his money now, securing his spot in Major League Baseball, I think is a complete all-around thumbs up.
That's exactly why I'm giving it this. I agree with Zeno and I agree with DG. Sometimes when you're sitting there with your family and you got to say, am I going to be healthy for the next 8 years? Am I going to tear up my knee? Am I going to throw out my shoulder? Anything that could happen in baseball. And you say, if I can guarantee myself $130 million at this age and then potentially in 8 years get another bigger contract, to me, it's less of a gamble than doing it the other way. Now, is he leaving potentially $100 million on the table? Absolutely he is. But I think right now, when you have a chance in baseball, which is very, very uncertain, you take the money and then bet on yourself later. But he could be leaving a lot of money on the table. All right, only 2 minutes left, guys. Topic number 4, a landmark deal announced yesterday. And I'm the only person walking God's green earth that has spent over a decade at both the WWE and ESPN. So I got 15 to 20 requests yesterday because this is going to change the game. WWE will move all of their pay-per-views, PLEs, to ESPN, their new $29.99 app starting in 2026. Zeno, thumbs up or thumbs down for ESPN finally getting into the pro wrestling game?
Thumbs up for that. Thumbs down for making me go first and GG after. You should be going first on this one because this is your wheelhouse. We should probably be following your lead here. Look, ESPN is gobbling up rights all across the board here. The company, obviously, despite the narrative that's out there, they're probably doing okay. Into WWE. But look, all this does is get more crossover fans. And as ESPN goes into this new streaming service that they're offering up to people, all you're doing is getting more and more people to come into the party and pay for the streaming service. That's a big part of it. It's part of the whole equation here is that if they can get the WWE product, every hardcore WWE fan is going to pay for the service just to get WWE. So it makes a ton of sense for ESPN and the WWE.
Yeah, I'm going to go thumbs up because once I found out that if you already have cable network of some sort, you're going to be grandfathered into being able to watch these PLEs within your cable provider. And so because of that, you're not losing anything. Honestly, you're gaining the WWE and their PLEs. And so because of that, this is an all-around thumbs up from me. Because if I can go ahead and buy into the app for $30 a month, or if I already have my cable provider giving me that, that's just the cherry on top, Coach.
Yeah, my thumbs up too. I still don't believe that that's going to happen. I think when you look at the word have access to it, I think they're going to tweak it a little bit. I don't think because you're only paying $7 as part of your Cox or whatever it is. So to me, I think they're going to tweak that. If that remains what it is, it's going to be a huge coup for people that already have cable. If it's not, we'll have to see. But for ESPN, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be looking to work for the outside organizations because Zeno's right. They are licensing up everything. All right, on the other side, it's time to talk AFC West. This is Coach and Company right here on Stadium. Welcome back, everybody. It's Coach and Company here on Stadium. Having a great time on a Thursday coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're going to break down the AFC West, the final AFC division, and then we will tackle tomorrow and next week the entire NFC. Now, as you guys know, the NFL is king, but Raphael, my numbers guy, I need to bring you in because things are always moving, always shaking. You can bet on every single game of the season already if you want to. Anything moving and shaking today, however.
Yeah, this division has a probably big question mark right attached to it because yes, the Kansas City Chiefs are the favorite, but they're probably the minus. The books are praying Kansas City has a really good season because everyone is fading them. Look at their division wins. They're 4.5. The under is minus 230. Their total season wins 11.5. Probably the most bet total season wins in NFL right now, and it's all under money. Everybody's betting the Broncos to win a division. 3.5 wins, under 235. They're betting the plus 190. So keep an eye out for the Denver because, yes, they have a sophomore quarterback, but they probably have a senior defense that's out there playing football. So I think that's why Denver is getting so much love in this division.
I feel like you're having a lot of joy in saying that. I see a little smirk on your face, your little mug over there. Are you trying to piss me off today?
No, I'm not. If this was any other team, I would be this because I like parity. I want to see someone new in the Super Bowl. So I'm not just ragging on Kansas City. I want somebody else that's at the party.
I mean, I like playing the hits over and over and over again. It doesn't bother me any. All right, Raphael, as always, thank you. Appreciate you. All right, now it's time to really break it down. Are the Chiefs going to do it again? Are they going to go 5-1? I can see why that number is over minus 200. 5-1 in this division? That'd be a hell of a year. It's time to bet the future. All right, last year it was 15-2, 11-6, 10-7. That's the three top teams, and then you had Las Vegas coming in at 4-13. There are the numbers currently. If you want to bet the division right now, Zeno, I got to start with you because if you're looking at the history of the Kansas City Chiefs, the history of Patrick Mahomes, he has never stopped his season before the AFC Championship game. So if you're looking at that, to me, this is a lock. Tell me I'm wrong.
There's no such thing as locks. I will tell you that if there was a year that the Chargers were primed to take the next step, it's this one. The Chiefs have been mortal as they have been in a while. I know they won 15 games last year, but we know the razor-thin margin in which they did that and how quick that is. There's going to be some regression to the mean because that's what happens to teams that win close games every year. They regress to the mean. You get year 2 of Jim Harbaugh in an offense that's only going to expand, that's got a great quarterback and an excellent defense, and one that is going to be a very tough out in the AFC West. It's hard to bet against the Chiefs because they've won it every year. It's like, remember the Colts with Peyton Manning, who they just won that division every single year? Well, guess what? That's kind of what the Chiefs are. So until somebody does it, it's hard to believe that somebody else will, but it's worth a play on the Chargers here to win this division.
I don't actually argue with that. I don't disagree with that. A plus 310, it's worth definitely a sprinkle. DG, let me come over to you because last year we were sitting right here talking about how literally Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes were getting fat and happy because of their win the previous February and partying all over the world. That's been the opposite this year. Travis Kelce down almost 40 pounds, new haircut, new clothes because of his boo. And so they're taking it serious. But is it too late? Are they too old? Is there not enough talent there?
There is enough talent in KC just because you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Like, you can put everybody else around this team and you can dissect them completely. But when I look at who is quarterbacking for Kansas City Chiefs, that's all. We can stop there, coach, and just say, hey, it's all about Patrick Mahomes. But you also have a guy and a coach in Andy Reid who is going to lead you the right direction as a football team. They do have a tough schedule. They're having to play teams like obviously the Chargers, and you're going to have to play the Broncos in your division, but you still have Philadelphia, you have Baltimore, you have the Buffalo, even Detroit. There's so many teams that you're having to take on in this their schedule, which is really tough. And because of that, I love the Chiefs. I think they're a really good football team. I don't know if they're the best or a lock to win this division.
Yeah, I've got to take my fandom off, obviously, as the host of the show and being subjective and objective. And also, it's a really tough start, as you alluded to, and then a kind of a tough ending. But I love, Zeno, how the NFL now backloads with division games, because then we have a lot of games that we care about when we get to week 14, week 15, week 16. And when you look at it, they end with starting week 13 at Dallas, then Houston, their playoff team, then Chargers. But Houston and Chargers are at home. Then they go to Tennessee. That's sort of an off week, but Cam Ward, and then home against Denver, and then at Las Vegas. So to me, it's a difficult road. But when you have Denver in week 17, are we sleeping on the fact that now they're going to have a quarterback who played really well at times as a rookie? And normally in year number 2, you see that quarterback take a gigantic step forward.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the interesting part of this entire division. This is by far and away the best coach division in all of the NFL. That matters. I mean, the bottom line here is that, when you look at Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos, still Sean Payton is the best schemer of any coach in this league, and that includes Andy Reid, right? He turned around and created an entire offense for a rookie quarterback that was actually functional, effective, efficient, put up points, and won a lot of games. There's no other coach in the league who can do that, right? Andy Reid can't even do that. Andy Reid's been blessed with a lot of really good quarterbacks throughout his career, but he's never had to mold a rookie. That's exactly what Sean Payton is really good at. So then you add in Jim Harbaugh, and don't forget Pete Carroll, who's coaching the Raiders here. Guys, you know how many times Pete Carroll has won less than 7 games in his coaching career? Once. One with the New York Jets. Year 1 with the New York Jets. So this is a Raiders team that is going to win 2 division games. They're going to steal a win in a spot that nobody expects them to do it. Look, it might end up being week 17, week 18 against the Chiefs when the game doesn't matter for them, but the Raiders are not going to be as bad as the world wants them to be, because guess what? Pete Carroll isn't a bad coach.
I had forgotten, Zeno, that he had coached the New York Jets. It seems so long ago. But the other thing is, I'm glad you brought this up, is they have a last place schedule. And this is what the NFL wants. They want the bad teams to get good, the good teams to be challenged. And so when we look at the Pete Carroll led Raiders, DG, it's not a difficult schedule on paper whatsoever. Before their bye, Patriots, Chargers, Washington, Chicago, Colts, Tennessee. I mean, if they are halfway decent, they could get off to a really good start. Their bye week is in week number 8. And Pete Carroll's that type of coach that gives you a vibe and he gives you the energy that is completely opposite of all the guys they had there before, including Antonio Pierce, who I was on record because I worked with him at ESPN. I was like, he's not a good head coach. He's a good coordinator. And he proved to me right. Do you think the Raiders could surprise all of us this year with Pete Carroll taking over?
This team is led by Geno Smith, who surprised us all a little bit last year in Seattle. And so now you're pairing him up with Pete Carroll. You're bringing in a rookie running back, Aston Genty, who everybody loves, a tight end who's kind of a hybrid tight end, and Brock Bowers. This team is going to win games they shouldn't, but just like bad teams, they're going to lose games that they should. And because of that, they're a scary team to see on your schedule because, as Zeno alluded to, yeah, we're looking at Pete Carroll, who can win ball games just himself. But I think the talent around it will be bad enough just to say that they will lose some games. But this is the hardest division in football because the Oakland Raiders, or not the Oakland, but the Las Vegas Raiders, being who they are, they can still surprise teams, and they have a lot of talent still on that team.
Yeah, speaking of talent, you see some of the wide receiver talent on the screen right now. So, Zeno, I ask you this. Give me the order of finish as you see it and how many playoff teams come out of this division of the 7 spots.
I think it's only 2. I would go Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders. And unfortunately, the Broncos may be on the outside looking in.
Interesting. DG, what about you?
Yeah, I still think Kansas City still holds serve here, but I do like the Chargers because they have one of the easier schedules. If you look at their schedule, they're only having to take on 2 teams that were in the playoffs last year. And honestly, that's the away games that they're having to go to. And so because of that, I still think that the Chargers finish second, and then you're going to follow that by the Broncos and the Raiders. But this is still an incredible division. I do think that all 3 of the top 3, I still think they all get into the playoffs.
So we got 2 minutes left here, Zeno, because we're always comparing the Chiefs to the Bills, to the Ravens. How pivotal do you think now with all the changes that's been made, all of the players that have been added, the number 1 seed still is in the AFC?
Well, the bye is everything, and the numbers continue to prove that out. I mean, until a number 1 seed isn't playing in their conference championship game, then we'll take note. But that's really what essentially it is. It's the easiest path to the conference championship game and a chance to be able to go to a Super Bowl. So if you can get that number 1 seed, you'll be playing in the second or third weekend in January.
It's going to be interesting because I think now, DG, we put the Chiefs up here. I mean, every single year AFC Championship, but that number 1 seed, at least for Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, something has to change for them to get over the hump and get to the Super Bowl and then try and win the Super Bowl. But when we look at this, how much of a player will the AFC West be in the fight for that number 1 seed?
I think they're going to be a huge player because they're going to beat up on each other so much that they're going to take the Chiefs or whoever might win this division out of the number 1 potential overall seed. I think that's going to go to Buffalo. I think that they're the best regular season team this season. Plus, you got a pissed off Josh Allen. I don't know if there's anything better than a pissed off Josh Allen. I would do whatever for that guy because he is the best player, the best football player in the NFL. I don't care who you put up there. I love Josh Allen and the player he is.
And he's happy. He has his money. And remember, he did not take every last dime that he could have gotten. He said, I want to take care of the team. He just got married in the offseason. So I think he's the right guy to lead this team. But now he does not want to have the label, gentlemen, of the Dan Marino of this last 10 or 15 years. He doesn't want to be that guy. Gentlemen, great job breaking down the AFC West. Now, coming up tomorrow, we start looking at the NFC as our 20 I don't even know how many days it is, but I know we're counting down to September 4th, Thursday night, the Eagles and the Cowboys. Still to come on the other side, the drama continues in Big D. This is Coaching Company, as always, right here on Stadium. Welcome back, everybody. Coach and Company here on Stadium as the FedEx St. Jude starts already underway. In fact, I'll be heading over there, but do not forget Coach and Bro coming up in a matter of minutes every single Thursday now, 11 a.m. Eastern time, right here on Stadium with me and Vince Russo. But speaking of drama, I got to see my guys, Zeno, DG, and Raphael, because Big D, we haven't even talked about what's happening on the field, Zeno, because it's all about Micah Parsons and not getting his bag off the field. He's now requested a trade. His owner says, hey, listen, I don't know what to tell you, but he may not be ready to play opening night, September 4th, against the Eagles. Is this drama now overtaking everything else that Dallas is trying to accomplish?
Yes, and that's exactly the way Jerry Jones wants it. I mean, this is what Jerry's about. He's about headlines. He's about his name being brought up and his team being brought up the entire offseason, and it has nothing to do with what goes on the field. Look, I've held to a maxim for a long time in my life. What's the point of having bleep you money if you never tell anybody bleep you? And that's exactly what Jerry Jones is doing here. It's bleep you. I'm going to do this thing on my timeline. I guarantee you he does not care about having to pay Micah Parsons more money than what the going rate is or making him the highest paid non-quarterback ever. He doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about it at all, but he wants to do this his way, his timeline, and he'll execute it when he feels like it. And oh, by the way, as soon as that check comes and that contract comes with the number, guess what Micah Parsons is going to do? Sign it. So you can say, I no longer want to be a Cowboy, but you ain't walking away from $150 million. Nope, sorry, you're not. So this whole thing is a continued drama for Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. It won't go away anytime soon. The two people who are affected the most by this are Brian Schottenheimer, because he's not going to have his starting linebacker in 100% game shape ready to go when they come week one, and the Cowboys cap manager, because that's the guy who really gets screwed in all this. Because not only does he have to deal with Dak Prescott's $50 million cap hit this year, his $68 million cap hit the following year, and his $74 million cap hit after that, because Jerry Jones is willing to overpay, guess what? Those numbers will be equally as big for Micah Parsons. Good luck putting together the rest of the roster.
Raphael, go.
I'm thinking on an odds point of view, Dallas to sign Micah was opened up at -$2, now -$4. But if he does get traded, there's three teams who have the most tickets written. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who opened up at 45-1, now 18-1. The Chicago Bears, who were 30-1, now 20-1. And the Eagles. Really, the Eagles? I can't believe that I had to say this. The Eagles opened up at 15-1, now 10-1. But I think he stays.
Gee, could you see Micah Parsons in an Eagles uniform this season? Can you even imagine that?
No, I don't want to imagine that, Coach. That would kill me inside. Like, there's a lot of teams that I will ride for, and that is my Grizzlies, that's my Braves, and that is my Cowboys. And you send any of those players to an opposing team, I will hate them forever, but I will hate more of the old man that just simply won't retire. I don't get it. You have so much money. I know your life is all about the Cowboys, Jerry, but ride off into the sunset. We need new management. We need new friends, because you're behind the times and your ego is out of control. Please just let it go.
At some point, when you're over 80 years old, it's been 30 years since you've done anything, literally anything. You got to put your ego aside. But we know that's not going to happen, no matter how old he is. Zeno, I'll give you the last 30 seconds. Steelers, Bears, Eagles. If you had to pick one, which one would you pick? 30, 40 seconds.
Steelers. I mean, I'm really high on them this year. I think they can win the AFC North. They got a future on them to do so. Aaron Rodgers is going to be fine. He'll play all 17 games. He'll play more games than Matt Stafford will this year, that's for sure. And he'll certainly go over his 3,200 yards passing prop that is out there. This is a team I think that's going to surprise a lot of people. They've got a great offensive mind as their head coach with Arthur Smith. And now that they got Jonnu Smith in the fold, this offense is going to surprise people.
Could be very interesting, though, because T.J. Watt just got that big contract. If Micah goes there, then you're literally comparing whatever you pay him to his teammate. That could be fascinating. Of course, we're going to be all over it here on Coach and Company every single day throughout the fall. All right, now, coming off a ho-hum day yesterday, it's time to get back on the horse today. Now, if you were not here at the top of the hour, don't even worry about it. We always have you covered. Right now, a little something we like to call Lock It In. All right, 10 seconds or less. I only need one or two nuggets is all I need. Look at that full board. DG, start us off.
Let's go down to Atlanta. Kyle Stowers for the Marlins. We're going to go over the 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 125. This is a great matchup against Carlos Carrasco, and he's hit this in 6 of the last 10 games. And then we're going to go to the hardwood here with Kelsey Plum over the 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's at minus 106. She's put up great numbers in the last 5 games and now a good matchup against the Sun.
Hello, Zeno.
Let's get the Marlins money line here. Huge pitching matchup in favor of Miami with Yuri Perez going against Carlos Carrasco. Marlins 9th in runs scored on the road this year. And it's Paul Skeens Day. I'll lay a half run in the first 5 with him as Brady Singer's ERA jumps up over 2 runs on the road. And the Pirates have already knocked him around once this year.
Skeens. Oh, I love Paul Skeens Day. Much better than Patrick Corbin Day. Raphael, you're up.
I have to start off a huge line movement in the WNBA. Connecticut money coming in. Now the Sparks are minus 10, which they were minus 11.5 when the show started. So that's pretty crazy. We're going to preseason week 1. Colts Ravens first half tonight over 19.5. I think a lot of first half points will come in because of quarterback battle in Indianapolis. And then in baseball, give me the White Sox team total over 2.5. Yes, they're looking to get swept today in Seattle, but they will score some runs. They've hit this prop number in 6 out of 7 games.
Very good. My man Chuck sent him in mid-show, and we've got 2 additional plays. Europa League qualifiers. Hacken from Sweden. Brann from Norway. We're going to Brann first half. Team total over a half. All you got to do is score. They've scored a first half goal in both of their European matches so far this season. And then on the diamond, Marlins Braves. Total going over in 5 of Miami's last 6. And 13 of Atlanta's last 20. We're going to go over 8 tonight in Hotlanta. Then for your boy, I got 3 plays in the St. Jude Championship. Victor Hovland to win plus 2,500. Victor Hovland top 10 plus 275. And depending on when you get these in, you can still bet them live as well. And then Sepp Straka over Colin Morikawa. You can still get this in. Tournament matchup plus 113. They tee off in the afternoon. But remember, you got to get them in quick right after the show. All right, marquee model, JTS play of the day. Go.
Coach, we're rolling with Phoenix Mercury, Alyssa Thomas to get over 20 points and assists. She's playing Indiana tonight. When she plays Indiana, she's averaging just over 25 combined in those contests. Love this spot for her. We're going to pair that with Chicago Sky's Camila Cardoso to get over 20 points and rebounds. Without Angel Reese on the floor, which she is out again tonight, Cardoso absolutely goes crazy. She's cleared this in 5 straight without Angel Reese on the floor. Put them both together for a plus 100. Just a Stat Sports play of the day.
And today is the day for all of you at home. Scan that QR code. Use our code BTT30. And we're going to give you 30 days for free. And that's going to take you all the way up to September 7th, which is the first Sunday night game of the year. All right, how do we make you smarter? Raphael.
Looking for 4 straight winners on this one. The Chicago White Sox last 9 games following a loss. 8 of them have gone over. The total is 7.5, and you can get plus 105 on the over.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, as we wrap things up, obviously today's a big day here at BTT Studios. Gentlemen, we now have 2 full hours on the Stadium Network every single Thursday. I know, Raphael, you've been a big part of our pro wrestling coverage here, so it's a big deal for the Coach and Bro Show to be now 11 a.m. Eastern Time every single Thursday. How cool is that, Rafi?
It's cool because I get more Vince, and I always like to see Vince on live TV because you don't know what comes out of his mouth.
You never know what the man's going to say. You never know what he's going to say. I don't watch. I do this. I do that. I hate Unreal. Absolutely love my guy, Vince Russo. Gentlemen, well freaking done today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Producer man, you know what time it is. It's time to make sure you understand we have content throughout the day. I'm getting ready to head out to go do the FedEx St. Jude PGA Tour Live, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, today, I'm not hosting it, but 2 to 4 Eastern, my radio show, Off the Ropes, Sirius XM, if you want all your pro wrestling coverage. Then tonight, a special Coach and Bro Show live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on our YouTube channel for all you degenerates out there that just want it all. That's going to do it for now. For my man, Zeno, for DG, for Raphael, producer man, there's only one thing left to do, but I don't even have time. All I have time is just say it's Coach and Company as always. We love Stadium every single day. Enjoy your day. Take care.